Good evening YouTube and anyone else watching this video. Thank you for tuning in to Coolice charge cases and power supplies. My name is Ian, as you may know already. This is just another quick video really of the latest charge case that's going to leave my bench. For those who have obviously been watching the various videos on my YouTube channel recently, the last two videos you will have seen a few items done for this case. And now today we have the finished article. I've powered it up. It doesn't have chargers fitted, unfortunately, because the customer is obviously fitting his own PL8s, so he's got them there with him. I did connect it up with my PL8 Duo to double check, make sure the River Electric's bump controller was working all okay, and it is, so that's fine, so that's pulled out. But now the case is assembled and I'm just running it. I've been putting the internal power supplies on and off load couple of times already today, and I intend to do it a couple more times. Normally that riddles out any weaker power supplies before it leaves my bench, which is good. But otherwise the case is looking quite nice. The customer sent me his balance boards, which, as you can see, I fitted them in place. I will try and add some photographs at the end of this video, so you can obviously see some pictures of the back end kind of thing and how it all connects up and everything else. But basically I've disassembled the balance boards and built them obviously into the deck, so then they fit quite nice. And of course then, as explained in one of the other videos, then the entire balance board section is recessed another 10mm down into the deck, so that gives a little bit more room for the batteries, so the case can obviously have the lid closed. Excuse me. So the case can obviously have the lid closed while the batteries are in these positions charging. This is for a UAV company, so the main plan here is to have quite large, I think 16,000 milliamp hour 6S packs charging, so 2 per output of each PL8 that's in there. There's going to be two, one channel 1 on this side effectively, and channel 2 on this. That's probably one of the other jobs I need to do actually with the vinyl cutter. I'm going to create a channel 1 or PL81 or PL82. Probably I'll match it to the names given by the bump controller, that way then there's no confusion. Probably channel 1 and channel 2, that'll be easier. So whether I might do that out of vinyl, so vinyl graphics, or potentially with the laser cutter try and do a little legend out of the laminated acrylic that I've got, which might look a little bit different as well, so that'd be quite good. Could even go at the back, could even go somewhere here. That'd look quite smart there, a little plaque there. But anyway, we'll cover that. But otherwise it's worked out quite well. I've tested it with some of my 6S packs, which are the same, the width of them is the same depth as the depth of the packs that are obviously ultimately going to be put on charge here. So I then obviously close the lid, and there's still just enough clearance there. It's worked out just right there. I'm quite pleased with myself the way it's worked out actually, so I'm quite pleased. The eagle-eyed among you will see obviously the twin USB charge port, bottom right hand corner. The less obvious ones, which I've been doing, this case obviously, again, if you've been keeping up to speed with the other videos, it needed to be waterproof, or weatherproof would be a good word to use. Because it's not entirely waterproof, because there are holes on this case, but the idea behind it is, if this case is caught out in the rain, it's not going to get any water ingressing inside the case, or actually getting into the case. And also then the AC connection is a proper waterproof connector. It's marketed by RS Components. It's not a cheap connector admittedly, but it is waterproof, and it's actually got 2 or 3 O-rings actually on the input port there, so when it clicks, it actually physically clicks into place with a little bit of resistance there, and it's sealed. Obviously then the cable itself then is sealed there with a rubber gland. You actually tighten up this once you've made the wire connections in there, and it tightens down the rubber gland there, so that makes that waterproof. So from that perspective it was a little bit of a necessary evil really, because again, if you are out, and if you are caught out in the rain, you certainly don't want to be messing around with 240 volts AC and getting wet. Next to that we have a vent. Now this is a 3D printed vent, and as you can see, I've curled the vanes downwards, so the idea being if the rain is obviously coming downwards on it, it's going to literally hit the vanes and just literally roll off. This will obviously be, these are air inlets. Originally I was going to have just 2 on the front, which you'll see in a minute, but I then changed my mind and added another 2, so 1 on either side, so 1 on the right hand side along with the AC connector, and then under this flap, which you might have seen, I need to get the little recess there. You've got an EC5 for an external DC output port, so that can obviously power when this case is run off AC, which is powering obviously the internal power supplies. This port obviously gives out 25 volts output, and then above it, if I can get my fingers out the way while still holding the flat, these 2 ports here are connected to channel 3 and the bottom one, channel 4 of the bump controller, because the bump controller is capable of controlling 4 chargers, essentially 4 Revo Electrics PL chargers. So if the customer wants, which he may do in time hopefully, there was talk of another case build, or in this case he has got a PL6, so he can effectively plug the PL6 into the channel 3 port and then obviously the EC5 and power it from the 25 volt power supplies that are in there. So that'd be quite good. But the ultimate thing here as well is then if we build him another case with its own power supply as well, we can link the 2 grounds or the 2 negative DC outputs of each pair of power supplies, so we keep a common ground then which is a requirement for the bump controller and the Revo Electric, so you don't cause any ground loop issues there. If I go underneath there, you can see there's a little magnet there as well, and that's tied in, so the magnet then obviously matches up with the screw head there, so when it closes you can hear it, there's a proper little clap there, and the flap doesn't easily come off. You can hear it as it goes back with the magnets. I've put a little finger hole or nail recess there. I might be able to catch it. There it is. So when it's closed, otherwise you can't easily grab it. I wanted it so that when the case was in transport it would be less likely to catch the lid, and I think that's worked out quite well. I'm quite pleased with that again. So if I roll around the front, as you can see we've got another vent there, and scroll around to the left we've got another one there as well, so that keeps it symmetrical on the front, which I'm quite pleased about. Bring the phone closer towards me, so if my voice got louder you know why. And we've got the rotary isolate switch, which I quite like fitting on my case. I've been doing this for a few years now and it's got a bit of popularity, this one. It's quite a simple mod, but the idea being is when it's in the on position, the positive output from the internal PSUs is obviously going to the chargers and the cooling fans and the DC output in here as well. But when I switch it off, if I show you the bump controller, obviously it'll go off. So that's severed now the positive connection from the power supplies to the charger, the bump controller and this port here. So now this port then becomes a DC power input point. So not that he'd necessarily want to do that, but God forbid, say the power supplies did fail in here, he can obviously turn that off and use an external power supply to keep him going, which is quite nice. Or if he was using smaller packs, you could even connect a 6S battery pack here, and obviously then that would provide 24 volts into the Revo Electrics and bump controller, so they can work and charge like even small quad packs or something silly like that for a bit of fun in your lunch break. But if I flick it back on, you hear the bump controller is obviously booting back up. Here it comes, and now they're back on. Case is quite a large case. It's got wheels on the back and a drag handle, retractable drag handle, which is quite nice, as you can see. Come round, there's the other vent on the other side, and then there's one there then as well on that side as well. So in effect then we've got 4 air inlet avenues or inlet paths, air inlet paths, and then obviously then from the previous videos you'll see the cooling fans mounted to the back of the case with their own shrouded hoods that are again water resistant or rain resistant again on the back. So otherwise I'm quite pleased with this case. It's going to be quite nice to actually get some photographs of this one when it's working out in the field with some big batteries connected to it, because the biggest ones I've got are 6S 5000 mAh for the likes of aligned T-Rex 700 and 550X models, so charging some big 6S 16,000 milliamp hour packs would be quite nice there, but you'll make quite a nice picture there. So this one will be going out. Thanks for looking, and please keep your eyes open. The next case, I don't know if I can pan round, I've already got it, be a bit different. We've got a Nanook case for the next build. It's a silver one. Ooh, so that'd be a bit different. And it's a Nanook 940, I think, off the top of my head, so it's a little bit bigger. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Please keep your eyes open for future videos, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.